Circling. Here we are. We are live. Yay! Hi, uh, welcome to your high impact performance training. My name is Amy Carter with Healthy Me, Healthy We, and we have Maria Tan here with Misfits Magic, and I'm so excited to have Maria here with us. Okay, so if you noticed, first of all, if you're just joining us, um, give us a hashtag live. If you're joining us, say hello. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay so that we can interact with you after all is said and done. So we don't miss your comments or your questions if you have any for Maria over the course of our interview. And we are here to talk about something super vulnerable and requires some courage and some real introspection, which I love because I think that's where we find the best answers. And so the title of this training is called How You Are Subconsciously Undermining Your Self-Worth. Boom! Like, there is nothing more, I think, more self-sabotaging than undermining our own self-worth. Um, and so I want, Maria, will you share with us, first of all, what you do and how you came to why you do what you do and why we're going to talk about this topic today, why this is what we're going to focus on, why this is so important too.
First of all, Amy, thank you so much for inviting me. For those of you who don't know, Amy and I connected over a Zoom call, and we're just like, oh my God, are you speaking my language? So,
Yes.
this connection kind of like propelled both of us to kind of like also add value to each other's audience. So, I'll be here, and Amy is going to be in my Instagram live soon. But enough about that. Let's
Yeah.
put that aside and talk about let me share a little bit about myself and my story. So, as you know, my name is Maria. I am known as the business coach for Misfits. But what that really just means is I am a business growth strategist for business visionaries and nonconformists. Why business visionaries and nonconformists? So, here's the thing. I have been a misfit all my life. You know how you hear a lot of the stories where people tell you, oh, my whole life I've been following everybody else, and now my time to kind of like be myself. Now it's my time. Well, my story is a little bit different because from a young age, I knew I was special. I knew I was different, and I couldn't be anything else but. And just imagine, as you can see, I'm Asian, okay? And I come from a very, very Asian background, very religious, very conservative. And just imagine how hard it is to grow up. We're talking about, you know, I'm a millennial. We're talking about the 90s. It's not like now where being different is now the trend, right? Even in Asia. Back then, if you're born, like if you're Gen X, Gen Y, or even a millennial, you know how hard it was for us to grow up to be like to be us. So imagine if you're in a very conservative culture that really aims to make you behave, to make you obey, and to make you just follow the rule.
Hmm.
So for me it was hard. And I think my salvation back then was because I come from this long line of entrepreneurs and I'm great at business. I started making money at the age of 6. So I think that gave me some freedom in the family to do my thing, because then, like my parents or my aunts, my uncle, they might not be 100% supportive of the things that I do,
Hmm.
but that can be overlooked because I'm great at doing business. So like there's that leeway. Having said that, though, it didn't help me in my Catholic school. Like I'm always in the, I'm kind of like top of my class. I'm not naughty, but I get into trouble because of, I get into trouble because of my lack of filter,
And
right? Like
because you don't conform, you don't do what everybody else does.
exactly. And, I think as a child, I was the type of person that would say, yeah, but why should we do that? Or
Mm.
PDA, we call that PDA, public display of affection. I don't know. For those of you who grew up in the 90s, I'm sure you heard that. Now it's like very normal. But but just imagine that was banned in my Catholic school.
Hmm.
And I remember, I was just sharing my opinion with one teacher and saying, but why? You tell me it's banned. Why? This is a human emotion, right?
Hmm.
That kind of like lit fire and kind of like burned the whole forest. And I was
Hmm.
already sent to the principal's office for that comment. So just imagine. So my whole life was really about me proving myself,
Hmm.
either proving myself right or proving others wrong. And when I reached my mid 20, I realized there's nothing else left to prove. I've done everything that I wanted to do. I've kind of like proved other people wrong, proved myself right. Then I got really, really stuck in that moment of now what for me?
Hmm.
I've done business. I can afford a Cartier every now and then if I want to. But I'm not, I love money, but it's the freedom that I love. I don't
Hmm.
really like, I'm not a person that goes gaga over a Chanel, right? Like I have a couple of them, but I can easily give them away too. Like it's nothing for me.
It
So,
doesn't change you. And I think that's super important.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But then I thought, you know, what if I help people like me, misfits, who just really want to express their voice? And what's limiting them is their inability to capitalize and leverage and monetize. So that's what I did. I repositioned and kind of like fast forward, here I am today. And the reason why, as Amy and I, we connected and we were exchanging ideas on how best I could add value to you, we really kind of like settled with this topic because as a misfit, like I said, I spent, I think, 2 decades of my life proving my worth. So how does that, just imagine how often in a day do you prove your worth? And in doing so, you are subconsciously actually diminishing your value, diminishing your self worth. And in this live video here, I want to share like 5 ways that you're not even realizing that you're doing this and give you some actionable insights on how you can shift your mindset around this and how to move forward with that belief that, you know what, there is really nothing to prove because the world needs you as you are best.
That's right. I love that. So, for those who are watching, do you feel like you relate to Maria on some level or another? Do you feel like you've always been different or you stand out and you have ideas that have been up till now, or even now, presently, have been kind of shoved under the rug, brushed under the table, your candle's kind of been snuffed out, and you're just waiting for that someone to give you permission to spark that idea, that ability that you have that you've wanted to use for so long and get moving with it. I feel like Maria is going to share some things with us here right now on how you can do that. So, Maria, you said you have 5 things. What's that first thing?
The first is, I think, the most common and the something that's really talked about already, okay, which is giving discount.
Hmm.
How I think with especially if you're a new entrepreneur or you've been an entrepreneur for the longest time and are following what I call the bro marketing of, put a price but that's not actually your price, so put your yeah, so, kind of like put a price but that's not actually your price, put the price lower. And it reminded me of Mel, is it the 5 seconds rule lady, Mel
Oh,
Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
Yeah, and she said something that really stuck in my mind. She said, as women, we tend to really discount our value because we are so programmed to do things for other people. An example of this is household work, house chores,
Hmm.
right? Like from a young age, who's expected to wash the dishes? There's that unwritten law, right? Like even as a girl, right? Like the unwritten rule is girls get to wash the dishes. Girls are just for the kitchen, like
Mm.
girls know nothing. So just that, we're not seeing the value that we bring to the table immediately. And, coming from an Asian background, I actually thought it was an Asian thing.
Mm.
Because again, I grew up in the 90s, and in Asia, our perspective of America and American ladies are ladies that know themselves so much, are confident, have a attaché case, and know their value. And when I started doing consulting work at 18, and I've met a lot of women from all over the world and realized this is something that's shared all across. It doesn't matter if you come from a progressive country. The same value of discount is there. So as a business owner,
Mm.
how often do you give discount unnecessarily? How
Mm.
often do you actually think, "Oh, my price is 900, let's say 997, uh but maybe I should say 600 instead, or 400 instead, or 300. Or, I really want to charge 5,000 for my program, but, what if I cannot deliver? Can you imagine? What if I cannot deliver? Why would you even think about what if I can't deliver?
That limit, all of a sudden, what that does to us.
Imagine, right?
Mhm.
So Mel Gibson, Mel Robbins was actually saying,
I'm
you
sure
know,
he has something worth quoting too.
yeah, but Mel Robbins was saying, I was in this, I was invited to be a speaker with two other men, and I gave a quotation. And at first, the company was actually shocked by my quotation, not in a good way, because my price is 5 times lower than other people.
Mm.
Then the other two male speakers that gave half of my presentation. Just imagine, right? Like, I don't think males would even think about, yeah, but would people pay for this? I think, or can I deliver? They wouldn't even consider that. They just consider about what they want. And sometimes we as women, we need to lean into that masculine energy. We have to be okay with facts and figures. And for me, someone that did business from a young age, let me tell you this, the best businesses in the world don't really care about your color, your age, your gender, your race. They care about what you bring to the table. You can be a pink ostrich for all they care, as long as you can deliver, as long as you can meet their what they want. And sometimes, not sometimes, 99% of the time, usually they don't know what they want. So even,
Yes.
kind of like, even if you think, can I deliver? It doesn't really matter. I know it sounds so irresponsible, but it's not. Because when people come to us, especially in the service industry, or even in the product, meaning digital products or tech, people don't really know what they want. They have an idea of what they want. So even if you can match that idea, you have to give room for that idea to evolve and grow. So do not question whether or not you can deliver, but rather allow yourself the space to evolve with what's needed. Having said that, that does not make any dent on your product, on your value, or your number, because you have to think about capacity. You only have 100%. We are not like
Mm.
males that don't need a lot from the world. We need our pamper time, we need our me time. This is reality, okay? For me, I love my social time, I love my pamper time, I love all these things. So if I only have 100% of time, 5% is about social, 10% is me having my massage, 20% is me crying over my emotions, whatever. What else is left, right? Now, if you are going to give this, whatever, this person who's discounting your value, or who you want to discount your value to, your time, that takes up the rest of your capacity. So
Mhm.
the person that can actually acknowledge your greatness cannot come in because you just gave a discount on your value and your magic. So this is the first thing that I really encourage everybody to think. Where am I discounting myself? And that might not just be about price, it can be about boundaries too. It can be,
Yes.
it can be, oh, this is just two calls, but okay, you have a problem, so let me give you another call. Or,
Yes.
it's not just price. Discount is not just about price. It's our effort, it's our value, it's our boundaries. So,
Yes,
yes.
definitely. That's so I have so many thoughts going through my head as you're saying these things, and uh, thoughts of my own personal experiences where I have um, I have not counted the worth of the work that I did at home because it wasn't paid. It wasn't even until I read Melinda Gates's book, Lift, um, that she talks about unpaid work. Paid work, and unpaid work. They both have the same value, just one you don't exchange money for. It's exchanged in other ways. Um, and then, yes, like those boundaries, saying yes all the time to things where you feel like you have to please everybody else. That boundary, or that lack of boundary, shows or reflects the worth you place on yourself. Um, and so then would you say then, Maria, that it reflects the worth, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like the worth of or the value of the thing that you are trying to use to serve other people, the tools that you're giving other people. If you discount yourself, you are then in turn discounting um, that service, or the need that somebody else has for your service.
I think it's not the need, but the perspective.
The perspective.
Yes, because if you think about it, pricing is really not about logic. It's about
No.
perspective, right? It's about,
Yes.
this is the price. And think about Hermes, right? Who will pay $20,000 for a bag? But everybody does, because the perspective, the marketing, the branding that they did came to that level. So
Hmm.
if you are discounting your value, that's the perspective that you're giving. It's not the need. See, there's that difference because people don't act on logic. It's about perspective. And to add on to what you shared, Amy, about paid and unpaid work. And this is something that I really am vulnerable. I want to be very open to you. I grew up with in a matriarch. Okay,
Hmm.
my father was making money until the age of 11 when we were hit with the Asian crisis. So we lost millions of dollars, multi millions. And in an Asian culture, going deep into the bankruptcy is a different thing because you lose everything, your reputation, your prestige, everything. So my mother then had to be the breadwinner,
Hmm.
right? So for the longest time, the information that was fed to me was you need to be making money yourself. So unfortunately, this was a wrong belief. Until I was in my 20s, I thought being a housewife was wrong. Like
Hmm.
I really thought like being a housewife, why would you do that? Like I really, really, it was a very ignorant perspective
Hmm.
until I joined, a women's club of really, really wealthy people. And when we say really wealthy, we're talking about, forget about the seven figures that you see online. That's nothing. That's pocket change for them.
Hmm.
I joined this women's club. We're part of this volunteer group. And it amazed me how all of these housewives knew their worth so much.
Hmm.
There was no discussion. Like, remember, it's still an Asian perspective. So maybe outside when we're in social gathering or a context, they would say something like, I have to talk with my boss, which is my husband, but I've seen their husbands interact with them. They're the boss of their house. It's very clear. And I realized these women, they are well educated.
Mhm.
And their husbands, really, it's really a partnership. You know, like they took care of the house. So everything that the husband made is because of them. Because they are critical in freeing up all the things that the husband doesn't need to think about.
Yeah.
Even the food that they're, like sometimes, how often do you think, what will I eat today? Just even, like, what will I wear today? What will I eat today? Where will I travel? What's wrong with like these women are on top of their husband's health, on top of their husband's diet, on top of their husband's social network. It's amazing. It's like they have a very kind of like a I I won't say, it's kind of like a chief vision officer. And
Yes.
every time the husband kind of like sees something differently, right? The wife says, "Okay, hold on. In as much as I'd love to make more money, why would you do this?" They are really partners. And I realize this is a choice. This is a choice. If we want to be wealthy women, we have to think of what we give to the table, what we bring to the table, even if, again, like you said, it's not paid, that doesn't diminish the quantity of that. So remember, it is perspective. The difference between these women that I met, these wealthy women, was in their mind, there is no doubt about their value.
They were equal to whatever value someone else was placing on the wealth.
Exactly. But not just equal. Because of me, my husband is there.
Mm,
That's different game altogether, right?
yeah.
Because of me, my husband got to where he is.
Knowing you're an integral piece in
Yes.
that
Not
partnership.
the integral piece, the first step.
The first step.
Like the key ingredient, right? It's not just the integral key, but the first step. Without me, my husband will not get to where he is today.
Hmm. That's awesome. So I love, there's a book called Rocket Fuel that I've just started reading, and it talks about two pieces. One is a visionary, which we're talking about today, and the other one is an integrator, which helps put those visionary
Into action.
pieces into action. Yes, exactly right. And so for that partnership, I love, 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 because my husband and I, it is a partnership. It is not, he sees me, actually he sees me as you're describing, like one step better, right? But I see us as equals. And I love that so much. I don't think that things could move as quickly or as forward as they do without the two of us pushing and working together. So I love that. So in the last 10 minutes that we have, let's go through the last four
Yes.
steps that we have.
Yeah, we have four, but since this is only like we only have 10 minutes left, can I just select the two biggest piece now?
Yes.
Because I think that was really we that was really layered, huh? Okay,
Yeah, it
the
was. It
second
was
thing,
awesome.
okay, is this. This is something that I think a lot of women also experience, which is we are focused too much on being nice. That I know it sounds so, because we hear that a lot, right? Be kind, be kind, be kind. But being kind doesn't mean it takes value out of us, or that we end up with a losing hand. When we say be kind, it means love, be compassionate, but not at our sake, not at the cost of what it takes from us, right?
Mm,
So here's the thing, right? And I think this is something, especially if you are a woman and you're in business, I think there's that belief that being straightforward means equals being a bitch, or being straightforward equals being mean. We
mm-hmm,
can be straightforward in business or in our life without sounding condescending, because I feel like that's the thing, right? I just want to be nice, or I don't want, again, it's about perspective. I don't want other people to see that, I don't understand them, I'm not compassionate, or I want to support. Sometimes it's this part, and it's sad because it's women against women. Oh, I just want to support another woman, so it's okay if I'm going to discount my value, or it's
mm,
okay if I'm working for peanuts. It's okay if I give more free things because I want to support my friend. That's not real kindness, because kindness starts with you. You cannot, it's, in anything we do, it's not about us not being flexible. Okay, we can be flexible as long as it doesn't take from us, meaning it doesn't take up our capacity. Just go back to the capacity. How much capacity do you have? We only have 100%. So, however you divide that up, if you're going to give more, you need to have more to begin with.
Yes.
So, if you don't
100%.
have that more, then you cannot give more.
Yep. Exactly right. So we have a comment here. I don't know if you can see that too, but it says, so if your husband is not as successful as he could be, what does that mean? If you just work hard to make things easier for our life, is that wrong? But I think that's exactly what you're saying is you are the integral part, the key part in helping to ensure that he is successful, that that is part of your success. Am I understanding that correctly?
No, I think let's go back to the question. Could you
Okay.
say that again?
It says, so if your husband is not as successful as he could be, what does that mean? Do you think his worth is being undermined or your worth is being undermined? If
Okay,
you're
so
just as hard, if you just work hard to make things easier for your life, is that wrong?
so there's no right or wrong here, okay? It has to come from everything we do is a choice. Until we see that, it is a limit. So your
Mm.
question here is, if my husband is not as successful as he could be, is that a reflection of me? No, it's a reflection of him. Perhaps what is missing is either maybe you're doing too much and not asking enough from your husband.
Ooh, yes, I love that.
Because sometimes, I often, how males grow up? It's
No
actually because,
crying, no asking for help.
no, no, it's not that. When I say
Oh,
grow up, meaning if you think about like men, like, I have two brothers. They don't care about anything. Like they can even, like, women mature faster in general, like, than males. But males start to mature when they have their eyes set on a girl.
that
Like, if you have kids, take a look. Like, they start wearing something nice. They start, eating right. So what I want to say is, it's not a reflection of you. It can be that there's a mindset here that can be shifted. That see this as an opportunity of, is your husband not seeing his greatness because he is limited already,
That's
or
his
is your
perspective.
husband not maximizing his greatness because you're not asking for enough? Maybe you're excusing him,
Mm.
or maybe your husband is limiting himself because he needs more encouragement. So really assess that, because until know exactly the details, I cannot comment. It can be many, many things. And again, I'm not an expert in counseling couples.
Yeah.
I can say this.
But you did mention what this user, and I'm sorry it doesn't say your name, whoever is watching, thank you for being with us. But she says, sometimes I feel like it's my fault, like I did not demand enough. And you said exactly that. So perhaps we do undermine our own worth by
Not
enabling
asking.
others to not do enough.
Yeah. And tomorrow is a different day for
Yes,
you to start asking for more.
there is no regret about yesterday because yesterday is gone. You have
Yes.
today and the next day and the next day.
And you wouldn't know that you weren't asking enough because now you know that you're not.
Yes.
So that experience propelled you to where you are today, so that now you can change reality and commit to that desire for more.
I love that. I love that so much, and I love that we can interact and answer people's questions. I think that was so valuable, Maria. So,
Thank you.
What's the last one?
Yeah. You know, the last thing is actually this, the most, something that people wouldn't even realize, which is wanting the perfect plan.
Ooh,
And you know
Wanting the
what?
perfect plan.
When we are wanting the perfect plan, and I think a lot of women, even men, fall into this trap of, oh, they cannot, kind of like you go into that analysis paralysis. That's why you cannot make any action.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot take any action, you cannot make any decision. If you're so much wanting the perfect plan, you're diminishing your value because you want to be in control. And if you are in
Me,
control,
I have
yes.
that problem.
And if you have in your control, right? Then you're saying to the universe, I don't need your help.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
know everything. I don't need your help. I don't need support. I don't need, I don't need you. So how can better opportunities come to you?
Yes. For me, it is um, if I feel I need to be in control of everything, then I am saying that I am never good enough because I can never control
Yes,
everything.
exactly.
So, in order to be better and be more in control of the things I want to control, I have to have more people, more strength around me than the 100% that I have by myself. Right.
Exactly. Because when we say, or when we allow ourselves to surrender, okay, we are telling the universe, we are giving we are telling the world, you know what? I deserve more. And more doesn't mean one. And if I'm alone, then I cannot do more,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that is actually the reason, the one way you are undermining your self-worth. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that
Yeah.
because it's so ingrained to us to do, hustle, hustle, hustle. I need
Mm-hmm.
to struggle to succeed. We don't need to struggle to succeed.
No.
If you look at the hardest working people, they're actually at the bottom of the pyramid. These people
Yes.
are the garbage cleaners, the toilet cleaners, and I'm not saying discounting their value. I'm just saying if you really look at the people that work three jobs to make ends meet, they're the hardest working people.
Yes. Yeah. And so from that, how do we make the shift to let go of the things that we can't control and control the things that we can? How have you done that in your life? Uh,
For me, I focus on desire. Remember, I started young in
mhm.
going after my thing, in being a trailblazer, right? In a very conservative culture. So my desire has to be more than my doubt because that doubt will always be there. What will people say? What will people think? Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
Right? Now, one thing that has helped me is the question, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Mm.
I think people forget that question and then
Yeah.
really assess from that, what's the worst thing that can happen? Can I take this cost?
Yeah.
If I can, move forward. If I can't, change your desire.
Awesome. I love that because I have just recently, within the last month or so, started to really ask myself the question, what do I want?
Yes.
What do I want? And that outcome will end up, if I am the person I want to be, if I am the best I can be, then my outcome will help somebody else as well.
Exactly.
So, but
Exactly.
I have to focus on what I want. Otherwise, the motive and the outcome will be different for somebody else.
Yes. So for me, to surrender, to give up control, you have to focus on your desire.
Mm.
Because see, the only reason why you want to overly control is because you give into your doubt. You give into the devil. I call
Yeah.
that the devil. The devil in your mind that says, oh, you cannot do that. Oh, nobody will buy from you. Oh, you have to work more. Oh, what will people say? You don't deserve that. Money is evil, whatever. So by giving into your doubt, you are losing hold on your desire. So every time the doubt comes in, you need to go back. Do I really want this? Do I really want this? Do I really want this? And when your desire is stronger than your doubt, you can move forward.
I
And
love that.
actually you kind of like release control, because you're not needing that external validation anymore to say yes, you're right, you're worthy of your desire, but rather you're saying, universe, this is what I want, make it happen.
And as I believe Henry David, Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of those,
Great
one of
people.
those, yes, great people said, when you express a desire like that, then the universe conspires to make it
Yes.
happen. But it's not until you actually vocalize and know what it is you want
Yes,
that that can happen.
exactly.
It's
And
like seeing a red car everywhere. Once you buy a red car, you see them everywhere because you're like, oh, I noticed this, but we don't notice things that are only thoughts in our minds. We have to vocalize, we have to act on that.
yes,
Sorry.
and we have to be clear on that.
Yes. Clarity is so, so, so crucial. And yet we downplay that
You know what,
clarity.
I think the biggest Achilles heel of a lot of women is
Mm-hmm.
they think they're clear on what they want.
Mm.
If you say, oh yeah, but I want to be famous, I want to be rich, really. But then
Mm-hmm.
if you really ask them to break it down, they can't.
Yes.
There's a lot of but. No,
There.
actually, want this, but so for me, just listening to someone, I know if the person knows what she wants or not, because
Yeah.
nothing she said would be contradictory.
Hmm. That is powerful.
Yeah.
To to begin to stop contradicting yourself,
Yes.
to want something and do the thing that you want rather than want something and do something else.
Exactly.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Maria, for sharing a wealth of gold nuggets with us today. Where can people find you if they want to learn more about the Misfits business coach?
Well, I am actually living, okay, quote unquote, living on Instagram, but I'm also very, very active on Facebook. So
Okay.
in Facebook, you can Google me, Facebook search me, Maria Kathlyn Tan. But on IG, Pinterest, and Clubhouse, I'm at Maria underscore K underscore Tan. You can come connect with me there. I'd love to engage with you further. And I hope you found this talk useful. We had to cut it down to three, but even though those three are so layered. And right now, if you have any doubt, let me clarify something for you. The world needs that difference that only you can make, because
Yes.
everybody's tired of the same old, same old. It's time for the world to see the difference that only you can bring to the table.
Yes. Boom. Mic drop. I love it. And I posted it yesterday, but we'll post it again. I believe you have what you have something to share with them. Can you tell us what it is
Yes, so
again?
I have this gift for you. It's called Your Business Magic Checklist. And
Mm,
it's not really telling you the how to, but kind of like letting you know the key elements of what makes a business thrive. It's very actionable, very insightful. It's very broken down for you, because I feel like a lot of people want to make business work for them. But you cannot make business work for you if you don't know the key ingredients that goes into it. You can
yes.
change it, you can be, I don't know, you can be on Instagram, you can build an email list, whatever you want to do, you can do. But the elements of a business stays the same, regardless of time, regardless of country, regardless of market.
Awesome. Then I think that list will be invaluable for people, whether they are running a business and missing pieces or whether they're just starting out. So thank you for sharing all of that with us, Maria.
Pleasure
And
is mine.
and we will interact with those who watch the replay after this. If you interact with us, please shoot us a DM, a comment on
Or
the
tag us,
video. Yes, tag
so
us in
we
the
can kind
post.
of like come back and respond.
That's a great idea. Thank you. Thank you so much. for everybody who's joined us. The last comment says, please send a info as to where to follow.
Okay, let me comment to you later.
Yes. So if you are watching this and you are not part of the group, the Facebook group, I have just recently changed the name. It is called Beyond Survival, because we want you to thrive in this journey we call life. And it is Beyond Survival, systems for your personal performance, to help you create peak personal performance, which is our goal, right? To live our highest selves and our best selves so we can better serve those around us. So please join the Facebook group, tag us in a post. If we haven't connected with you there, let us know so you can join and interact with us more. And we are, thank you so much, Maria, for joining me today. We are so happy that we could do this today. So anyway, and make sure you join us next week for our upcoming performance training. We will be having a confidence coach. Her name is Sarah Harrigan, and she is absolutely amazing. So if you loved what Maria brought to the table today, you will not be disappointed next week. So remember to join the Facebook group to help us bring these trainings to you on a weekly basis. And we'll see you in the Facebook group and on Instagram and Facebook. So remember that a healthy we begins with a healthy me, and show yourself some love and make it a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.